and welcome to another edition of the SMAshlights, where I go na 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 sha, but I keep the fire burning, folks. Oh yeah, you got to keep the fire burning, you know. All right, just kidding. No, seriously, keep the fire burning, like big time. And just bear with me 1 minute. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Smashlical difficulties. We need mood music to be able to talk about the scary and spooky things that we're going to talk about. And it's going to get real scary and real spooky real quick. And why is that? Because I'm going to vanish again and then return in a very creepy fashion. Now, today we're going to talk about all kinds of things like China and Russia and all kinds of stuff like that. Alright, enough of that. That's too dark. And I guess I'll reappear. First, let's talk about the scariest, spookiest clothing you could possibly own. Today's featured t-shirt it's at the SMASho store. They're all linked below the video. Today it's going to be about the Mansa t-shirt. Make America not suck again. It's up to you. Whether it's on the local level, or on the state level, or perhaps on the national level. Making America not suck again is not an option. It's a requirement. Perhaps order yourself a purple one. Because, I don't know, you ride for a cycling team like Team Velo Shop. Anyway, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out the SMASho store. Again, it's linked below the video. And today I'm wearing an effin' shirt. We're going to have more effin' shirts coming out soon. Let's talk about number 3 in our mission. If you haven't read our mission, head to smashamash.com/forum/mission. And you can read all about it. Today's featured mission portion is to connect and consult with media organizations to multiply our reach. Now we're trying to multiply our reach, but we decided to use YouTube anyway. Because we weren't really aware that we would get utterly shadow banned. Let's talk about people who should be outright banned. COVIDiots. Yes, government officials who get to make decisions for you despite not knowing anything about what they're making decisions about. What are you thinking about? I'm thinking about the government sinking and trying to sink me with it, yeah? Let's talk about code enforcement officers. Basically, the lowest form of government that can fine you besides a meter maid is a code enforcement officer. Indeed, Americans across the whole country have had people showing up at their yard with tape measures, measuring their grass, measuring their weeds, worried about their hedges, whether or not it has anything to do with safety, noxious weeds, edible plants. They don't care. They're going to just impose their authority because they have it. Whether it makes any sense or not doesn't really matter. They'll go to court, they'll lie, and their lawyers will also lie to back up the lies told by code enforcement. So, several attorneys may inform you that the best move is to just stay out of their way since they have zero accountability. One of the ways to provide some accountability is to sign up for Nextdoor.com. Now, when I went to sign up for Nextdoor.com, I noticed that we didn't have a neighborhood. So I created one, and now we've got about 50% of the local neighborhood on Nextdoor.com. So perhaps check that out, create a neighborhood, become the lead like I did, as this is a way to share information and hold public officials accountable for their, let's just say, failures of coherence, lack of coherence, inability to do their own job effectively, things like that. Now, sadly, the state police have just, thanks, Trooper Nathan Bronski, all schools will remain closed until further notice as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, I've got a crystal ball right here, and it's telling me that that's a stupid idea, but hey, that's That's for another video. As, oh man. Anyway, a lot of you may be now familiar with the Innocence Project as it's appeared on Joe Rogan, and this is exposing a lot of government corruption on a little higher, more serious level. But sadly, there's very small accountability. Now, one of the places you may want to check out, if you're seeking legal representation as I am, is Handle on the Law. One of the things you can do there is even just send a little Ask a Lawyer thing. And that's a great little section. It's hosted by Bill Handel, who's, by the way, in the Radio Hall of Fame. I think he was inducted last year. And he's got a great show on Saturday mornings on some Los Angeles radio station. I don't know, but it's great. He takes call-ins, and it's a fantastic show. So check out Handle on the Law, perhaps. They've also got a lawyer directory there.
Press enter to skip to main content. Button.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I'll definitely press enter to skip to main content. And thank you, website. Whatever website that was. Wonderful. HandleOnTheLaw.com if you've got
press
a shop
enter
for...
to skip to main content.
Apparently
Button.
It's because of some kind of handicapped options. Nice. Differently abled. Now, we are on Twitter, and you may see posts from people like Tony Heller on there. If you don't follow us on Twitter, well, there's exclusive content occasionally. Let's talk about disdain for government. Now, Christian from Ice Age Farmer, Christian the Ice Age Farmer, is wondering what's growing well for me. Well, it's disdain for government and perhaps non-ironically liability without doing anything fundamentally differently. Thanks, Red Tape. I can't breathe. Thanks to our patrons for increasing the probability that I will continue to breathe. So we're much obliged for that, patrons. And we do put up early warnings and things on Patreon. So perhaps consider opening up your moldy, moth-filled, cobweb-induced wallet and, send us a couple bucks a month on Patreon. Again, the patrons are the assistant and associate producers of the content, the real source of funding for the videos. And again, increasing the likelihood the videos will remain free and publicly visible. We're also on Subscribestar, and there are various other links below the video, such as links to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/smashamash. Thanks to our new sub over there, we are streaming most days to Twitch for the daily space weather. And indeed, the smAshlights actually are taken from Twitch most days as well. Take a moment to press like and subscribe if you're viewing on YouTube. Tell your friends, tell your foes, tell your science noobs and your science pros. We're talking about cutting edge stuff over here. And while we're screwing around a lot, that's to make it interesting, not because we're some kind of hacks. Also on BitChute, and there are exclusive videos over there as well. If you haven't checked out smashamash.com/forum, check that out. 1,400 plus people are now users over there. Thanks everybody for signing up. Please post about whatever you like, as there's new movie recommendations where I can demonstrate my psychic powers. And by the way, Smash Staff, what was that movie we watched last night? I can't seem to remember jack about it, except that it was good. We've also dipped our tippy toe into the Amazon affiliate space. So one of the things that we're advertising there is the Zacurate Pro Series 500 DL. And I'm wearing one right now. And check it out, my blood oxygen is at 98% and my pulse rate's at 80% because I'm so excited about making this video for you people. So check out smashamash.com/affiliate. That's smashamash.com/affiliate. And buy some merch. Right, now this isn't official branded merch. It's just items on Amazon that I personally use. We're giving you some insight into what's in the medicine cabinet. So do us a favor if you'd like to add these things to yours and buy them through our links, whether it's L-lysine, MSM, otherwise known as methylsulfonylmethane, almond flour, zinc, calcium, and magnesium, or Shugu. Look for more items to come. Let's talk about COVID. Oh my God, I am freaked out by the COVID. Holy cripes. I've decided to take extreme measures. I've got my wands, and let's go to the test pattern, because if anything gruesome happens here, I don't want to like associate it with the website. All right, we're gonna get you, COVID. We're gonna get you. I got UV wands. You're out of here. I said. Oh, got him. And now, see, I'm totally safe now. So, thanks to Mothra for sending these UV wands of pure safety, because now we know that we'll be just fine. I can just set these on the table like this, right, pointing right at my face, and I can talk, and I can spit all over them and the monitor and everything. And I mean, look how awesome I look in low light. It's like I've become part of the flames. Somebody wants to know if I want to become famous, which is pretty hilarious. No, just rich, thanks. All right, so getting back to COVID, the cheap Chinese plastic virus made in China, has got some interesting implications into geopolitics. So let's get into it. But first, let's give you an insight into my subscriptions. Here's one. Andrei Stam has removed a video. Oh, darn it. Here's one from Andrei Stam. Let's see if it's back. It's back. So now Andrei Stam is one of my favorite organists. There's a great rendition of Toccata and Fugue in D minor by him, where he plays it so fast it's like a minute shorter. It's awesome. And he's stoked about Toccata and Fugue in D minor, most likely. Here's a clip from the Highland Concerto for Trumpet and Organ by Andrei Stam. Nice. Highland trumpet. If you're into that Highland style music, it's pretty sweet. And let's talk about power outages, right? The CEO of Generac, named Adam Jagfeld, said that you're going to see a lot of more decentralized power and lots of good things happening in the future associated with solar and wind and batteries. Yes, that's right, batteries. Batteries are a huge deal, folks. And this is great for Generac, and it's great for everybody, because you're going to have more access to basic survival, right? In the event of grids going down, they'll be better off. And like I was talking about earlier about with Broadcastify, a lot of your infrastructure is already shielded against nuclear weapons, solar flares, and power outages. So this is good stuff, folks. More good news here, courtesy CNBC, talking about massive change coming to the grid, and it's basically because of battery technology. So look for some great battery backup systems coming soon, and that's actually something that we're going to be adding to the Amazon store perhaps today. Let's talk about vaccines and how Fauci should shut up. Fauci, shut up. Now, I'm not suggesting that he's incorrect here when he says the chances of creating a highly effective vaccine are not great. So while Fauci should shut up and stop talking to every news source and just flapping his lips about nothing and allowing continued fear and panic to just go on and on for no particular reason, well, that's why Fauci should shut up. But when he says this, he's actually correct. So as far as being effective, scientists are hoping for a vaccine that's at least 75% effective. But 50% or 60% effective would be acceptable too. What say you? Please leave a comment. And by the way, I don't know why you need a vaccine for a virus with a case mortality rate of 0.04%. 0.04%. Let's talk about Russia and China. China and Russia. China and Russia prefers Biden. No, wait. Sorry. Russia prefers Trump, allegedly, and China and Iran prefer Biden, which is kind of strange. I would have thought Russia and Iran would team up since they have military connections in places like Syria. But hey, whatever. Anyway, according to this USA Today story, and according to U.S. intelligence reports, Trump has a lot to answer on for Russia, according to Biden. Okay, and that's it's going to be the most beautiful and the most amazing and the most spectacularly stupendous election that you've ever seen in your life. Okay. Pro-Russia Ukrainian parliamentarian Andy Durkok is spreading claims about corruption, including publicizing leaked phone calls to undermine President Joe Biden's candidacy in the Democratic Party, the report said. Some Kremlin-linked actors are also seeking to boost President Trump's candidacy on social media and Russian television. Oh, yeah. Now, for all of you who are really worried about this, foreign governments have and will continue to interfere with other governments' elections since the beginning of governments and elections. They're going to continue to do it. It's not particularly new, obviously. So it's just hilarious that now apparently China and Iran allegedly prefer Biden. China for Biden, okay? See, this is why I have to buy cheap Chinese plastic viruses from China. China, cheap Chinese plastic and cheap Iranian oil. And, it just stinks, okay? If you've got breaking news stories for us, hit us up at the SMASho VoIP line. You can text or call it, country code 1, area code 610-936-9799. Cheap Chinese viruses from China, made of cheap Chinese plastic, probably knockoffs of good, well-made plastic Japanese viruses. Okay? Let's talk about some cosmology stuff real quick. How about potassium-rich stars? Were you aware? More data coming out making it look like heavy elements come out of the atmospheres of stars and not out of the cores, because if they came out of the cores when supernovae explosions occurred, wouldn't we see all the heavy elements there? It's just that, whoops, we don't. Perhaps read the article about seeds of life in the universe, as phosphorus is crucial to all known life on Earth. I'm not sure about extremophiles, but all the normal stuff, the stuff that doesn't live in 400-degree sulfur vents in the ocean. Phosphorus comes out of the atmospheres of stars, apparently, but for some reason, we don't see it in supernovae, where we'd expect to see it. So the way heavy elements are distributed in cosmology is super important in debunking nonsense like the Big Bang and all kinds of other silly ideas that are from the 1800s, such as stars have fusion cores and stars are fundamentally electric inside. Let's talk about, once again, chemical reactions in the atmospheres of stars. Guess what? Mainstream astronomy can't explain why you get a helium distribution like this. How come you're having so little helium here and so much here? Well, it turns out that the helium follows the magnetic field force lines. Now, who could have possibly guessed? Well, the Sapphire Project couldn't have possibly guessed because they didn't apply magnetic fields to their wannabe star in a jar, which is the problem. And I'm not going to go deep into that. Just read the article about how the helium structures are associated with magnetic field force lines. So here you can see it's another sort of image here. And what you're seeing is very low helium abundance here around the equator and higher helium abundance around mid-latitudes. Now up here, there's probably helium abundance way out in the poloidal field someplace. But that aside, you can see what I'm talking about here. When we see these open field force lines, we tend to see helium in abundance aligning to those magnetic field force lines, but not typically on the equator. It's kind of important. And it's another indication that the helium isn't coming out of the middle of the sun. But in any case, people will be confused. Let's see if they have a conclusion. In the future, scientists plan to make more observations to explain the difference in abundances. Right, because they think helium is being produced in the core of the sun in some kind of fictional fusion reaction that there's zero observational evidence for. Let's talk about the magnetic field force lines since we're on the magnetic field force lines topic. They've been mapped in great detail for the 90 millionth time, this time by Z.H. Yang et al. And it's a great image there. I don't want to show it too long. And basically what you do, how you do this is you do very precise radio astronomy on the corona, and to a lesser extent on the chromosphere. Magnetoseismology is what you would call it. And so I guess since they're saying it's the first time, it was probably measured in more detail here. And guess what? You see these areas right here? There's more helium there than there is here. Now you know. And by the way, a nuclear fusion dynamo inside the sun does not explain that. Let's talk about extreme tech. Now, they've got great articles over there. And one of the hilarious ones is how scientists are renaming, wait for it, they're renaming genes so Excel won't reformat them as dates. Now, there should be a setting in Excel that allows you to format it however you want to. For instance, if you want your column to say sept1, which is also spetin-1, which is a gene protein used for genetic sequencing, Excel will immediately change it to 1-sept. So I just think that's hilarious. Microsoft, look, we're not going to suggest that you write software on the scale of Google, but please fix that. Renaming genes because Excel won't format things the way I want them formatted is a problem. By the way, we're growing our organization, and welcome to the Neo-Renaissance. If you haven't been there, check out smashamash.org. Smash staff has been kind enough to upgrade it. We've got, we've got BitChute, we've got YouTube, we've got PayPal, we've got locals, smashamash.locals.com, as well as links directly to the SmAsho forum, the Smash store, and to the affiliate which has the Amazon products. So anyway, patronize the channel if you can. And if you want to see the videos continue to be free and publicly available, you must. And yeah, here ends another episode of the SmAshlights. Let's move on to some more stuff, which is a little less spooky, like the electron flux. And we're seeing the highest electron flux levels we've seen since March. Since February of 2020. So more electrons. I don't know. You think it's gonna? Oh my God! I felt like I had the sniffles there. I'm gonna COVID wand myself. Now I'm safe. Thanks again, Mom. Oh, now we're all safe. We can all go around. We can go around wanding each other. We can wear a mask. We can wear PPE from head to toe, and we can wand. And that's gonna do absolutely nothing because. All right, back to space weather.